What if I told you that the greatest secret in Ninjago was hidden in front of our eyes, masquerading as comic relief for over a decade? What if I told you that Dareth has been keeping a dark and immense secret for all that time? Welcome back, Ninjago fans, to the one, single, only show on the internet that answers your deep, burning questions. I'm your host, Ninny the Narwhal, and I'm coming at you live from the Area 53's aquarium located square on the moon, so grab your tinfoil hats. Let's get right into the news. Dareth is a character that has been in the Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu TV show since 2012. In that time, he has had a myriad of appearances in a variety of contexts, usually serving as comic relief. But what if I told you that this goofy, imbecilic, delusional fat man was in fact putting on the Mac? A persona. What if I told you that Dareth was not what he seemed, but rather a mask worn by someone you might not expect? What if I told you that Dareth is the first Spinjitzu master? Now I hear you. The first Spinjitzu master died many years ago. Considering the amount of time it took for Morrow to decompose and cross-referencing the age of the bomb was present in the first Spinjitzu master's tomb, with the amount of time it takes for actual plastic to decompose in reality, i.e. an incredibly long time, we can infer that the first Spinjitzu master died long before Dareth was born. So how does that actually work? Well, when this fact is taken in with the large amounts of hair present on Dareth's body, we are left with the conclusion that Dareth is somewhere in the range of 22 to 639 years of age. Hair is comprised of 95% keratin, the same protein that is in skin, nails, and teeth. Also, despite being a plastic Lego man, Dareth's body has a lot of hair present on it, from his chest to his head. Now, how does that correlate at all? Well, hair has a lot of myths and legends about it from the beginning of human history. It's seen as a facet of beauty and mystery, and it's consistently been one of the easiest features to customize that we possess. From tales of hair of fortune that bestow great luck to those who consume them or use them in some manner, providing power and strength. If you're using a certain potion or something, all that kind of devil shit though. In the Bible, apparently, Samson was a superpowered guy with him. I don't quite remember. Anyway, so hair is part of God, right? So, who is God in Ninjago? And if you answered no one, as the TFSM did not make it, that's fine, you're wrong, but it's okay, we all have our flaws. Because, see, according to Mistake in one episode, something of Sons of God, I think it was like, 2 or something? Mistake, wait, was it Mistake or Faith that said this? Was it in Hunted? Anyway, the first Spinjitzu master died too soon to be Dareth in a long coat and a top hat, so if he is in fact the first Spinjitzu master, which he is, and we'll get into that in a bit, the only rational explanation for that inconsistency and logic is that Dareth has a lot of hair. Yeah, that's right. The first Spinjitzu master is the god analog to the Ninjago multiverse, and when you add this together with the fact that Dareth has a lot of hair, you come to a startling conclusion. And the main point of this entire theory makes a lot more sense. Yes, indeed, Dareth's true power stems from his immense amounts of body hair, and this power, that I already hear you questioning, is the cunning, simple ability that's flown under the radar all this time that makes it abundantly clear that Dareth is more than what he seems. It's that Dareth has plot armor. That's right, Dareth has been getting in the midst of many dangerous and unrealistic scenarios, yet he always survives. Despite traveling to Chen's Island with little more than a puffy pop sticker, and getting in the middle of literal apocalyptic wars, Dareth always survives. Thing is though, that ain't enough to cast the die for good. Many characters in the series also have plot armor, from Harumi to Harumi, which is where the second part of the hair fact comes into play. It has a tendency to split. Yes, that is correct. You're on the right track. We're getting there. Warmer, warmer, warmer. Now I'm going to say it, and you all better hold on to your seats because this is going to get crazy. Dareth is a split aspect of the first Spinjitzu master that was reborn into the world from a small, incomplete, and irrelevant portion of his soul. That's right, not only is Dareth the reincarnation of the first Spinjitzu master and the true heir to his legacy that has been robbed of that destiny, Dareth is in actual fact the reincarnation of his Oni side. Now, in Japanese folklore, Oni are demons that have had a number of interpretations over the years. They initially stemmed, I believe, from Hindu mythology or from Buddhist mythology, and were eventually sort of compounded in with different folk tales and turned into sort of the modern interpretation of an Oni. Maybe not the modern interpretation, but a historical one that aren't the giant black clouds of death and destruction. They aren't the disaster gods. And Ninjago takes both kinds of Oni. Like, if you look it up on Google, you can find that you'll see a big old hulking boy with a club, with a kanambo or whatever, and horns. But they've also been considered as disaster gods, individuals who cause great misfortune across the land. Now, how does this tie into the theory? Well, the honest truth is that it doesn't. But you know what else doesn't? The Legend of the Green Ninja. Lloyd is a character that's always been a bit weird. A lot of signs point to him being special. He's at the center of the story from the moment he stops being a small child, and all the bad guys focus on him. Like, they immediately turn away from the other four, and it's Lloyd's show. We now Lloyd's show. Bye-bye, Red Ranger, Power Ranger, Ninja Rangers. However, it makes a little bit more sense when you think about this from a meta perspective and realize that the first Spinjitzu master would have been in a similar place to Lloyd. That's right, as shown by Wojira and a lot of the other threats throughout the years. Ninjago wasn't suddenly the villain cesspit that we know and love today the minute the show started, and that there had been a lot of things that happened over the years. The first Spinjitzu master was not the biggest fan of this. He realized that clearly he was being suppressed, and that if he kept fighting the symptoms of the cause, he'd never be able to cure the illness that was plaguing Ninjago. So Lloyd reincarnated to take the spotlight, to be the man on the stage, while Dareth worked in the shadows. Haven't you wondered why, despite being part Oni, Lloyd only ever used that power with a bright gold color, and how they ignored that Oni part of the balance for years. The first Spinjitzu master cast away his Oni side early on, but he couldn't get rid of it all. So when it came time for him to die, he had a chance to make use of both sides. His vastly more preferred dragon side, and his rather disliked Oni side to greater effect, reincarnating as both Lloyd and Dareth at once in order to play the perfect role for the prosperity of Ninjago. That's right, but how can Dareth and Lloyd both be his reincarnation at the same time? That's simple. Ninjago is apparently based on famed anime series Ramen Shipping Wars, and in that show, Made in China and Hash Brown Sendings are also reincarnations alongside main characters Ramen and Sauce. In this comparison, Lloyd is the blonde-haired optimistic ninja Jesus, while Dareth is sus.